Do I, F40, break up my 11-year marriage to my husband, M39, because of Christmas? I, F40, have been married to my husband, M39, for 11 years. We have 3 children. The relationship is mostly good, but we've had some strained times that have taken some working through. My biggest issue currently though is Christmas. I have such happy memories of family Christmas growing up. I loved Christmas with my family, we sang, we played games, we ate. Christmas morning was always slow, involved church, preparing, this was a whole family activity, and eating Christmas dinner, then gifts, films, games, songs and Christmas tea all followed. My husband's Christmas growing up has many of the same ingredients, gifts, TV, Christmas dinner, but he's told me all the gifts were opened before breakfast, then they played with their gifts and didn't interact much after that. Over the years of our relationship I've never felt like I've had a Christmas like I did growing up with my husband. Most of them I've been reduced to tears each Christmas Eve, and or Christmas Dad. He suspects he's autistic and anything other than what he grew up with is a problem. If it's not what he ate for breakfast growing up as a kid, it's not Christmas. If I want the kids to wait to open presents so we can all be present, it's a problem. If I ask for help making Christmas dinner, it's unreasonable, because he wants to spend time with the kids, and his mother always cooks. If I cook any of the 2 vegetables he bothers to eat, I've ruined it for everyone. If I suggest playing a game, I'm told not to bother the kids because they want to look at their new toys, even when they've asked to play a new board game they got. I want to watch a Christmas film, I end up watching it by myself. I've tried talking to him about compromises over the years, but I've got nowhere. The past couple of years I've given up even trying because I'm too tired to argue with, I'm autistic, I can't deal with it any other way. My mother tried to speak to him about it after witnessing me in tears on Christmas Day for years. Now he goes around bitching because she doesn't understand how autism works. I am now at a point where I am dreading Christmas. It always seems to end up with me upset and disappointed. In his defense, the kids don't know to expect anything different to what I have written and they seem happy. I just know that a family Christmas can be so much more. It seems stupid to break up a marriage over a couple of days, but I have thought about it. I just can't see a way forward for things to improve. Edit. Thanks for those who commented in the time it has taken to post this. Deal with family life and have time to sit back on my laptop. The post has been locked so I haven't been able to reply directly. For those who mentioned it, we are trying to get a diagnosis, but time and money are a factor. We prioritize money for the kids. This isn't our marriage 365 days of the year. The problems come with anything out of day-to-day life. Family vacations never go well for us. He would rather avoid them altogether. I live for vacations. For those of you who said go to therapy, I have in the past and I'm willing to do couples therapy, but it takes 2 to make that work. Why not take the kids off to my family myself? I nearly did a couple of years ago, but in reality the distance is just too far to make it pleasant for the kids. For those of you who said I should learn to compromise and not throw away a good marriage. I do want to compromise. I loved my family Christmas, but I'm under no illusions it's the only way to do it. To the person who said it sounds exhausting, dull, you actually made me laugh thinking about how others might have read that. But I am exhausted, not just with 3 kids but the added stress of the husband and working full-time. Thank you for your time and support. Is it about Christmas or is it about your husband being a selfish my way or the highway asshole? And how selfish and inappropriate of him is it to pretend to have autism to justify being a selfish my way or the highway asshole? When's the appointment with his doctor to discuss testing? My spouse and I are both autistic and grew up very differently. You know what we do at Christmas? Combined traditions. We've done it every year. We spent Christmas together. Under 0 circumstances is dude allowed to use his suspected autism as an excuse to do whatever he wants while you're reduced to tears year after year after year. I doubt he's autistic. I think he's just a shitty spoiled asshole, grasping at excuses. He's using autism as an excuse to act like a selfish, inconsiderate jerk. There is a big difference between autistic and an asshole. I wouldn't be cooking any dinner for this man at all. You're not a Christmas servant. If he wants dinner his way, he knows where the kitchen is. Do I, F34, kick my boyfriend out, M36, after finding him wanking in living room, yes or no? I leave for work early, normally around 5 a.m. and I'm home from first job about 9 a.m. but this morning was feeling off so was home for 7:30 a.m. As soon as I walked in the door I caught my boyfriend on the sofa wanking. Normally wouldn't give two hoots. But this was different. My teenage daughter who is 16 was up getting ready for school. He shit himself and she was halfway walking down the stairs. As I came in the house I shouted for her to stop and go back up. He looked like a deer in headlights. I asked him what the hell he thinks he was doing. Doing that while she is waking around getting ready to leave? He said nothing but gave me a look as if I was crazy. I felt sick, nauseated face. What if she had came down and seen him, or is that what he wanted, the thrill of being caught? I don't know what to think. I kicked him out the house and told my daughter I was sorry for shouting. She knew what was going on and she feeling uncomfortable with what he was doing while she was up and about. I'm so confused and help or advice would be much appreciated. Side note, been together 5 years. Don't leave this man alone with your 16-years-old daughter. He didn't even apologize. This is not safe for her. A normal dude would be mortified by the prospect of his girlfriend's teen daughter catching him masturbating. Protect your daughter. Is that what he wanted, the thrill of being caught? Yep. He's not a 14-yo who lost control for a moment. He's a 36-yo man who lives in a home with a 16-yo girl. He knew exactly what he was doing. Your first step is to kick him out. Your second step is to talk with a sexual assault counselor about how to talk with your daughter to find out whether he assaulted her in any other ways while you were at work. Why wouldn't he do this in your bedroom? It is really bizarre. He was trying to come on to her. It sounds crazy, but think about it. Porn-addicted, brain-dead guys think someone catching them doing something inappropriate like that will turn them on. Keep him away from your daughter. My 36M husband, 31F, wants me to be okay with inviting ex-wife to Christmas. How do I navigate this? I got married a few months ago to a man with 3 sons. I am struggling with finding where I fit in his life and family. We have been having problems because I feel as though he has no boundaries with his ex. I so badly want to have a family of my own that is not overshadowed by the life he created with his ex. She is involved in the kids' life in a great way. I am struggling due to the fact that his family has begun inviting her to the holidays. The first year we were dating, she was not invited to any of the holidays, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. But this year she was invited to Thanksgiving and now Christmas that we are having with his family. At Thanksgiving, I felt very overshadowed and I feel as though I cannot integrate into his family due to her constantly trying to be the center of attention. She is best friends with husband's sister-in-law and they very much leave me out. Sister-in-law has always been cold towards me. At the beginning of our relationship, I thought it was due to her just being quiet-natured, so I took no offense. I thought it was her personality, but now as I have watched things unfold, I think it is due to her not wanting me to be part of the family versus wishing ex was still with my husband. At Thanksgiving, it was very hard watching the two set up for the festivities and cook together. I told my husband before the holiday that I did not want to celebrate our holidays with her if we had the children. I see no point. I told him I was fine with her being invited if she had the kids because I would never want to deny him of seeing his kids on the holidays. He said that he cannot tell his family members, sister-in-law and mom, not to invite her to things. I told him that I do not feel as though he is standing up for our relationship and for the decision that we made to be husband and wife. She makes me uncomfortable because she tried her hardest to sabotage our relationship in the beginning and said very upsetting things to me. I tried to move past that, but an event happened where she invited me to dinner and I agreed because I wanted to be friends, but when I was walking out of the door to meet her, she texted me and uninvited me and said she was going with friends instead. This really hurt my feelings on a deep level, mainly because I was truly looking for a friendship with her and I felt rejected. I also think that I feel uncomfortable around her because my husband never stood up for me. Every time I had an issue, he would say that I can either accept the situation or he would leave me. So combined with the feelings that my husband won't stand up to her, won't tell his family to stop inviting her to holidays, and his sister-in-law and ex leaving me out, I really do not want to spend holidays with her when we have the kids. His mom has invited her to celebrate Christmas Day with us. We already have custody of kids this Christmas, so regardless whether she comes or not, we will see the kids. I told my husband many times before she was invited that I wanted him to have a conversation with his family that he and I needed to celebrate holidays without her for a bit, not even saying forever, so that I can integrate into their family and build relationships with them because right now I feel like an outsider to a family. We were recently married and I just want to be in the newlywed phase and carefree and not uncomfortable at every holiday. I am sure I will feel more comfortable once I establish my own relationships with his family. Husband said that he would absolutely not ask any of his family members to put a hold on inviting ex-wife for a little while until I can bond with his family. There was another instance where his mom planned a family dinner with all his siblings invited along with his ex-wife. I was invited, but she knew that I had to work. The fact that he had a family dinner with his ex and family while I was away working disgusts me. This is making me question our future. For some reason it feels like a huge betrayal. I do not want to spend my life in the shadow of another woman. Too long did not read. Husband want stand up to family and tell them that I am uncomfortable spending every holiday with ex. Read this and your previous responses about this. She cheated but seems like he and his family forgave and are willing to take her back. He's not standing up for you or your relationship and is even willing to leave you over this. Every time I had an issue, he would say that I can either accept the situation or he would leave me. You are financially capable of taking care of yourself. 31. So have enough time to meet and love someone that loves, values and prioritize you back. Thus ain't it. Leave him to his cheating ex. Don't live in regret like he's doing. I am struggling with finding where I fit in his life and family. This is something you both should have worked out before you got married. They share children, so she is part of his family and will always be so. This is making me question our future. For some reason it feels like a huge betrayal. I do not want to spend my life in the shadow of another woman. Then it's time to get this brief marriage annulled. I mean, you shouldn't have married him in the first place, to be honest. This won't get better even if he speaks to his family, because he clearly doesn't care and neither do they. Why on earth did you marry this man? Neither him or his family give a damn about you. When he said accept it or leave, that is the point you should have left. I hate to say this, but the only reason you are there is so he can show her he can pull someone else. He isn't standing up for you because your presence isn't there for making him happy, it is to rub her nose in it. I'm sorry, Op. Pick up your dignity and leave this man. He isn't worth it. You deserve to be more than a temporary placeholder until the scorned man decides to drop you for his ex. You're the side chick. He doesn't have to give in to her or refuse to stand up for you with his family, who are okay with her cheating. He chooses to. You aren't important to him, so you're the side chick despite being his wife. Time to leave. I, 25F, am suddenly terrified of my upcoming marriage to 27M. Some important context. I watched my parents go through the worst of the worst kinds of divorces, and then subsequently watched them both get into second, very unhappy and abusive marriages. I, 25F, have been with my fiancé, 27 male, for 6 years. He is the most wonderful person. He is so kind, loving, he matches my weirdo in all the best ways. I love spending time with him. He makes me laugh. I've never once worried about his faithfulness, etc. However, ever since we picked a date, I've been paralyzed with fear and can't stop thinking about breaking up with him. I realized I will never live alone. I'll never move to a new city on a whim. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never know who I am when I'm alone. More than that, I'm terrified I latched on to the first man who was nice to me because I was looking for the opposite of my parents, and he's not actually the one. It's getting so bad that I feel like every man I see I'm analyzing like, what if he's the one? What if he is him? I really can't tell if this is just some unhealed part of me grasping at straws to fuck this up for me, or if genuinely my intuition is telling me he's just not the one. What if I walk away and I never find a love that's safe and happy like this one, and I can never get my best friend back? I really feel paralyzed by this, and I feel like I can't talk to anyone in my life about it. I think therapy is definitely needed at minimum. I hate to do it, but therapy. The trauma of watching your parents go through a nasty divorce and unhappy marriages has clearly stayed with you. First and foremost, it'll probably stay with you forever, but what you can do is heal from that trauma. And talk to your boyfriend. Perhaps suggest couples therapy. The way he handles your fears may be an answer to whether or not he is the one for you. Fears for the future is normal, it's the way you handle it that counts. The fears started when the date was picked. I am guessing that this is unresolved trauma. Please find a counselor to discuss this. From your post, it sounds like you and your fiancé have a lovely relationship. Good luck, Op. Do you actually want to move on a whim, or fall in love with another man, or share your body with another man, or is your brain trying to sabotage you? You need to be sure and ready for marriage before you go through with it. Do not feel like you have to get married unless you are ready. Premarital counseling. It was really helpful for my husband and me.